Hello there. I wanted to make a little video kind of explaining the power of conditional branches. So this is with RPG Maker 2003. I basically created a new project in order to kind of like showcase this. So I'm just gonna make a little land over here on this spot, and I'm going to. You can press F7 in order to go to event editor mode. Right click on the screen one of the tiles and put the player starting location. So we have the character over here, and this is like a default party. But we're not going to worry about the default party at the moment. And I'm going to close this down. So what I wanted to show is kind of a demonstration of what conditional branches can do. And when you have a conditional branch of another conditional branch in RPG Maker 2003. So let's say, for example, you have an item that you pick off the ground. Let me see what kind of assets you have over here that I could use. I don't know, maybe you pick up this cross up. Shows the same as characters. And then we're gonna have it, we're gonna create like a little item over here. Item 86. And we're gonna call it cross. It can be normal goods, it doesn't really matter. Give a description. Cross, just a typical cross. So we have this typical cross over here. And then we're gonna change the event over here by right clicking on it. And then doing, clicking on this. And then we're gonna search for change items. And we're gonna add the cross item. We're gonna add the cross item to the thing. And then we're gonna make this so it does a control switch so this item ends up disappearing because it's an event. And we'll do the first switch, cross picked up. We turn it on. One important thing, RPG Maker 2003 does not have self switches, so you have to do an individual switch for every single event. Let's name this cross. And then let's do a new page. Put the switch over here, cross picked up. And we're going to change the graphic or else it's going to remain on the ground to a transparent one like this one over here. And we're going to put a sound so we can actually tell that we're picking up this item. Let's do... Sure. A quick bell sound. Now when we interact with this, we pick up the bell. I still need to change it to action below or else you cannot go through that tile. So on this specific event we gotta put below characters. If it's same as characters, this, despite being invisible or transparent, it's still gonna prevent the player from, or the character sprite from moving into it because it considers there's an object in there. So we're gonna do this. Now we have that. Cross, just a typical cross. Oh, it's not showing the... Hold on. Forgot to show... Let's put this, the video of the RPG Maker. Thought I was showing it, but it has a different name on the one that I'm... no. There it is. Alright. Put it over here. Gonna do a new game. See the cross. You use spacebar on it. It picks up the cross. You go to inventory. You have the cross there. Just a typical cross. So no custom assets or anything used here. And this is a very simple like control switch in order to pick up a cross and then make it so the event disappears after you've picked up the cross. It just goes into a switch. If you use an erase event, every time you went to the same map, the same cross would appear. I suppose that can be your intention if you're going for something specific, but for this case, it's a one pickup only. So what can we do with this? We can have a specific NPC over here that exists. So let's put this NPC over here. And let's do we could do show text, pick up the cross, and we'll add the face set, which I can't remember which one of the face set that guy uses. I've seen it before. I don't know if it was this one, but that was one of them. I can't remember. Yeah, it doesn't look like it was that one. Man, I remember seeing the face set before, but we're just gonna enter like one by default. I can't remember. So I'll put this at the moment. And we could, for example, do... So if you have an item... So this is part of conditions, but we can do a new page with the same thing. And if an item exists, we can have it do nice, you found the cross. And then have it change the item. Change the item, where is that? Change items, there it is. The crease picks up the item. And then we can do a control switch, cross given. We're gonna copy the same thing over here. Thank you again for finding the cross. And technically now we have a very simple quest, really, so pick up the cross. And he's gonna keep saying that until you pick it up. Now that the item exists, it's gonna switch over to the new page because you have the item. Nice, you found the cross. Now it activates the switch that then allows it to move towards the newer page. So it's gonna trigger. Thank you again for finding the cross. So this is like a very simple evented like quest when you kind of find an object and then you deliver it. This could also be done through switches and not so much through items. You have various ways of triggering specific pages on events by doing this. So for example, you have the cross given over here, but now we could have another NPC. And this is going to be the one of the powers of the conditional branches. So we're going to have this NPC over here. And he's going to do something a little bit different. And you're going to see what he does. So we're going to do a conditional branch. And the advantages of conditional branches, instead of just doing a bunch of pages for each one of the events, is as follows. You could have certain behaviors happen with these conditional branches. So conditional branch, a specific switch is on, So in this case, cross is given. And then you can have, so let's say you have it when this switch is off. So the cross hasn't been delivered yet. So what he's going to say is, I heard the guy above me is searching. So cross, I wonder if you could help him. Wonder if you could help him. Now, as soon as this is no longer off, the character is not going to say this, so it's going to be turned on. I'm going to have it. Now he's going to say, awesome. Thank you for finding the cross. And to avoid confusion, it could be better to turn this on. So, because you can have specific behaviors when like a switch is on and a switch is off. So let's say it's on. If it's on, then you would have this over here instead, and this here. Now to explain what's going on is, the first thing the conditional branch is doing is that it's checking, here specifically, if this switch is on, which is the cross given. And this cross given turns on when it reaches this page. So after you found the cross and you delivered the cross to this guy and interacted with this guy, this takes the cross away from you and it basically activates this switch. And when that happens, this is going to be true, and because it is true, it's going to give this message over here instead of this one. And you're going to see this in action. And we're going to talk with this guy first. I heard the guy above me is searching for a cross. I wonder if you could help him. He's going to keep saying the same thing. And this guy is going to keep saying, pick up the cross. Once we do, this is not going to do anything yet, because we have not talked with the other guy first. Once we do, the switch is going to activate. Nice, you found the cross. And now, awesome. Thank you for finding the cross. And with this specific type of behavior, you could have various NPCs say different things based off certain actions you've done. Where can this be helpful? Let's say you have like a town, a little village, and you don't need to have every character say a million different things. Even having a little different reaction when one specific event happens can be enough in order to give the illusion that the village moves forward, if that makes sense. So yeah, I hope this helps. This is just a very simple take on conditional branches. If it helps you, you can give the video a like. If not, just share it. Thank you again for watching this. I hope this helps someone.